Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me again today, pressing play on the video. And today I just wanted to show you this little card that I made. I have some not really very close friends. We're not going to the wedding, but they're people I know, and I just wanted to make a card for them. And so this is what I came up with. I did it on very vanilla, our thick cardstock, and then our gold foil. I cut out borders from the delicate lace dies and used the letters from the hand lettered Prose die set to make this card. And my daughter came into my room and saw it and said, "Oh, could you make me one for James and Dean, who are getting married in next month?" So it's a same-sex couple, so it's going to be changed to Mr. and Mr. The other daughter then came in and said, "Oh, you could do Mrs. and Mrs. I could give that to Katie and Harriet." So I've got another order. So 3 cards, Mr. and Mrs., Mr. and Mr., Mrs. and Mrs. Suits all eventualities there. So I'm going to show you today how to make one of these cards. I'm going to change it up a little bit. These are 2 of the dies from the delicate edgelets, delicate lace edgelets. That's the one that I used on this card. Today I'm going to use this one. I've just got it on here to show you how I did it. This is much more geometric. I'm doing a card for Mr. and Mr. today, so I didn't want it to be quite as lacy and fancy. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use very vanilla, but I'm going to use black this time. I'm not going to use gold, as I thought that was a bit male, more male as well. So what did I do? Right, okay, now you have 2 choices here. You can see that the border here I put with the flat bit facing upwards and downwards. You could do it the other way. You could have the flat bit facing downwards and have that bit. I think I'm going to stick with that way today, but it's up to you what you do. And I just did it on here just to show you how to cut it. So when the die cuts, this edge won't actually cut. There's a dotted line. I don't know whether you can pick it up on the video, but this line doesn't cut. So what I tend to do is line the die up with a straight edge before I cut, which means that's how deep my die will be. Otherwise, after you've cut it, you've got to go back and cut that line, and sometimes it's a bit difficult to get that straight in the cutter. So my tip is just, and this is about a ½ centimetre or 1/4 of an inch that I've placed mine, so that you just get a little bit more of a black border. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue one here and one here. Okay, and to glue it, I'm going to use a little bit of Tombow that I have squeezed out into a lid, a plastic lid, because this way I can control the amount of glue, and I hate projects where there's too much glue and it's all oozing out, and I don't think that looks very professional. And especially with black cardstock, you have to be very careful, because the black will show the glue. It will go a bit shiny. So you can just spread a little tiny bit out on here. You don't need to catch every bit, we just need to hold it down enough. So just a little bit of glue to hold down there. Okay, and then we're going to place that. Oh, this is our normal card blank, which is 21 by 15 centimeters, scored at 10.5. I'll put the imperial measurements on my blog. It's half a sheet of A4 and then folded in half. So what you want to do is line that up and make sure that this border at the bottom is equidistant all the way along, and then just place it down. And you can come in with scissors then and trim off the excess. So I didn't trim the die before I started. I wait till after I've stuck it down, and then I can use the edge of my scissors to line up against the card, and you get a really clean edge then, with nothing hanging over and nothing too short. We're going to do exactly the same with this border up here as well. So very easy to make these cards. There's no stamping involved, it's all die cutting. So as long as you've got a die cutter, you're all right. So again, there, and then over here, just a little bit over here, just to hold them down, but it doesn't need an awful lot. You certainly don't need to catch every little bit of this. And then again, and try and make the distance from the top the same as what you made at the bottom. So again, make sure it's straight and just glue down. And again, just coming in with my scissors to trim and to trim. How quick is that? Right, okay, now we're going to stick the letters on. Okay, and to do that, I'm going to find the middle, because I want the and, because I've got the same letters on either side. So this one, I had more letters on one side. Don't think it really matters. I more or less put the and. It was slightly offset, very slightly, but I more or less put it in the middle. But because we've got the same letters both times here, it can be absolutely slap bang in the middle. So I'm just going to measure and find the middle of my card, which will be about here. I'm going to put a mark up there that I can then rub out when I've stuck. So my and sign is going to go in the middle there, like that. And again, I'm still going to use my Tombow on my lid here with my cocktail stick. I find this the best way of just distributing a very little amount of glue on fiddly pieces. Some of you might have other tips for doing that. I like my way. There we go. And we are going to put that there. Try not to glue on your pencil mark, because that will then make that very difficult to rub out. So before I do anything else, I'm going to come in with a rubber, just get rid of my pencil mark. So I've got my and, so then I just need Mr. cut out of the hand lettered Prose, and on the other side Mr. I'm very aware that in some communities that are watching, some countries, you may not have same-sex weddings, but they've been a thing in this country, in the UK, for quite a while now. But they still don't seem to be terribly many cards in the shop, so I think this is filling a bit of a niche, really, this one. So there we go. So these will be winging off fairly soon to couples that my children know, my daughters know. Hope they like them. So there's one. They're very plain and simple. If you watched me for a long time, you'll know that most of my cards are very plain and simple. I don't like, for me, less is always more. I don't like lots of fussy elements on cards. So there we go. And then one this side. And that's going to be it. That's very, very quick and simple little card. Of course, I did the die cutting before I came to camera. I don't like hoiking my die cutter onto camera, although on occasion I do if I feel you need to see a technique or something. But I think actually if you've got a die cutter, you're perfectly capable of die cutting your dies without watching me do them. So this is, I'm filming this on Saturday, the last day of August. We have our last few offers finishing today, but by the time this published it will be too late. But of course we do have our new catalogue that will be going live on the 4th of September. So if you're watching this and you're in the UK or one of our European countries, although I don't have those languages, I only have an English catalogue, please let me know and I can get a catalogue to you for free. What's not to like? So there we are. There's my Mr. and Mr. card. So I now have Mr. and Mrs., Mr. and Mr. and actually I have actually made the Mrs. and Mrs. I'm not sure about this colour scheme. I don't know what you think about this. Not very happy with that, but I think I'm going to have to go with it because I haven't really got time to make another one now. So it's Pink and Blushing Bride and Soft Sea Foam. It doesn't look as I thought it was going to look, sadly. But anyway, I like this one that I've made today. I think that's quite a nice stylish card to give a same-sex couple. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me today. Very, very short little video today, but I hope you'll come back soon. I will soon be publishing lots of Christmas projects, so do come back and see those. I think once we get into September, I'll be on full-on Christmas mode, so do come back then. Anyway, thanks for watching today, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.